Good morning, good-looking people, and you're good-looking because you're always looking. And of course, you are finding the good in everything and in everybody. Hope you're well. Hope you're enjoying your Chol Hamoed. Today we're going to be doing the Hayom Yom for the 17th of Tishrei. So the Hayom Yom is actually very beautiful, and it's talking about how we as Jewish people, in the face of challenges, that's what really brings out the best of us. There's a part of our soul that's called the Yechida, which is the highest level of our soul. It's actually the part of the soul that gets activated, and God forbid somebody has to make a choice between life and death when it comes to self-sacrificing themselves for God and for staying a Jew. This is the highest level. And today, what the previous Rebbe was bringing up in his teaching, and we'll talk about it more in the Hayom Yom, is that this level of the soul is activated, and it really brings out the highest level of us. And when we're really in the face of challenges, this gets activated to the level that we become so connected to God that nothing else matters. Nothing material, nothing in our lives, nothing worldly, that we're so connected to God that this is what comes out. And what really inspired the teaching, although every teaching is timeless and it can apply to everybody at any time, really, when this teaching was given by the Rebbe, the previous Rebbe, it was in 1940. And what was happening was, at that point in time, he was fleeing Poland. The Nazis had just invaded Poland, and he was now going to America. He left Europe and was on his way to America. And in this moment, he was leaving a location where they were self-sacrificing for God, and they were being put to the test to keep their Judaism, where it was hard to be a Jew, to the opposite extreme, where they were going to America, where they were able to practice their Judaism, be free people, and enjoy and be able to be a Jew in a different level. However, two different challenges, two different zones, two different environments, and this is what's being brought up today in the part of our soul called the Yechida. So let's read the Hayom Yom inside, and then we'll give some more of the context. Also, there's more minhagim that we're going to start with, and again, really to appreciate the emphasis on the minhagim, that how Chabad does things while other people do things differently, and that's really why more of these minhagim are brought up in the Hayom Yom. So for the 17th of Tishrei, first part, in the last stanza of L'Chadodi, we say Gam B'Simcha V'Tzala. So when the Hayom Yom was put together, this was actually Friday night. So when we get to L'Chadodi, we add on the last part by Bay B'Shalom, we say B'Simcha, and that will also be this week. Also, when we say Shalom Aleichem, Eshes Chayil, Mizmor LeDavid, Da'is Dasa, and also Vayitan L'cha after Shabbos, they're all said in a quiet tone because of Yontiv. We've mentioned this before as well. In the Musaf service, the sentence beginning with U Minchasam Finiskem is recited after the verse that details each day's sacrifices. So in Musaf, there's different areas that we add in. We added U Minchasam after each day, not just the summation of both days. And then lastly, on Shabbos, we do not say Hashanah, just like this last Shabbos. On the first day, we did not have Hashanah, and we made up for it in the morning. Okay, for the Hayom Yom of the 17th of Tishrei, what we're doing is we're actually reaching over here. We're focusing in the Hashanahs of the day. And on the third day, we have three Hashanahs that we say, Chavuka Udvuka Bach, Tayenes Ulach, and Yechida Leyachtach. And each one is started with Hashanah. So we're focusing on these three verses, and I'll give you the translations, and then we'll go through it. So in these three verses, where we said, Chabuko Dvukabach, that means clinging and cleaving to you. We're also using Ta'anis Ulach, which means bears your yoke. And the last part is Yechidach Leyachtach, that one nation affirms your oneness. That's what we're focusing on. So we say, by serving Hashem in the faces of challenges, the Yechida and the divine soul, which is that highest level that we talk about where it gets activated in self-sacrifice, becomes revealed. An allusion to this may be perceived through a mystical interpretation of the following phrases from Hashanah. So those are the three sets of words that we just talked about. Let's read them and their explanations. When we say clinging and cleaving to you, this phrase speaks of the soul's attachment to godliness. As a result of this, then the soul bears your yoke by observing the Torah and its mitzvahs with self-sacrifice. By doing that, then the one nation affirms your oneness. The level of Yechidah with the divine soul is revealed. This inner part of our soul gets activated, and it says this revelation transforms the Yechidah of the animal soul into godliness. It takes it to the highest level. This intensifies one's observance of Torah and its mitzvahs with inner vitality, with a sense of great pleasure and a satisfaction in one's divine service. For such a person, success or failure in all worldly matters are equally inconsequential, for he has lost all pleasure and enjoyment in material concerns. So really the teaching of the Hayom Yom and what's coming through these three words is that eventually when we're in this position that the Yechidah, which is the inner part of the soul, gets activated, all that matters is our connection to God. That's really that's all that's taking place. And to the effect that anything in our current worldly lives, even to our worldly matters, whether we're successful or not, doesn't even make a difference because we're on such a high level. So this is the concept of the 17th of Tishrei. This is what we're getting from the Haishanis of the day, and knowing that we're activating the highest part of our soul, and know that this is the holiday that we're connecting to God. It's a holiday of enjoyment, being involved, and taking in as much as we can get from the Yontiv. Have a great day. Have a great Yontiv. Enjoy, and we'll talk more tomorrow.